Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to sort through, a pretty packed day of headlines and give you the key takeaways.
That's right. Our goal is really to connect the dots for you. Geopolitics, policy here at home, the economy, it's all moving fast.
It really is. And you can see how things that seem separate are, actually linked.
Yeah.
So let's jump right in. First up, this War Powers resolution. We've got House Democrats, Himes, Meeks, Smith filing this. It comes right after those U.S. airstrikes and then Iran hitting back at that U.S. base in Qatar.
Yeah.
Is this mostly signaling, or does this resolution actually, have teeth right now?
Well, that's the perennial question with the War Powers Resolution, isn't it? It's this tool Congress has, theoretically, to limit the president going into military action without their okay.
Constitutional argument.
Exactly. It's fundamentally about that balance, president's power versus Congress's authority to declare war.
Yeah.
This isn't just about these specific strikes. It's kind of a live test of how that balance works or doesn't work today.
So it forces a conversation, at least.
Definitely. It pushes everyone to reconsider where the lines are, especially when things change so quickly on the ground. It's about democratic consent for using force.
Okay. And sticking with how global events impact things here, let's look at this court ruling on Harvard.
Yes, the visa ban injunction.
Yeah, a federal judge basically blocked the administration from barring international students there. Seems like a big deal. But how much does one ruling like this really change the bigger picture, that whole academic freedom versus national security debate?
I think it's pretty significant, actually. It's not just a one-off. The judge specifically shot down the broad national security justification the administration was using.
Okay.
And in doing so, they really underscored the importance of academic freedom. This sets a precedent. It's not just Harvard. It affects how open the U.S. academic world can be, which impacts research, attracting talent. It's a win for that open exchange idea.
Got it. So real legal weight there.
Yeah, potentially influencing future visa policies beyond just universities, too.
Right. And these ripples, they don't stop at the courthouse door. We're now seeing actual homeland threat alerts from DHS and local police.
Following the U.S.-Iran tensions.
Exactly. Things like coordinating emergency calls, more security at airports, public messages. What should we actually be looking out for? What are the specific risks?
So the alerts are flagging two main things. Potential cyber attacks, which can be quite disruptive.
Right, the unseen threat.
And also the possibility of localized extremist threats. These can be harder to predict. So for you, the listener, it really just means being extra vigilant. At airports or travel hubs, be aware of your surroundings, report anything odd.
Makes sense.
And online, too, just be a bit more cautious. It shows how quickly these international hotspots can affect your daily safety right here.
Absolutely. And maybe the most direct connection for many people is the economy, which brings us to the market reaction to that, pretty surprising news.
The forever ceasefire announcement between Israel and Iran by President Trump.
Yeah, the markets seem to react almost instantly.
Oh, absolutely. Swift and very clear. Oil prices dropped, 3-4%? WTI crude was suddenly trading down around $66 to $69 a barrel.
Wow.
The dollar also dipped a bit, and global stocks generally climbed. It's classic market relief, The perceived risk of a wider conflict just evaporated, or at least reduced significantly.
What does that mean, practically speaking? For inflation, maybe?
Well, lower oil prices are usually good news for inflation. It eases pressure across the board, gas prices, transportation costs, manufacturing.
So potentially good for your wallet?
Potentially, yes. And it also gives the Federal Reserve a bit more breathing room, maybe influences their thinking on interest rates down the line. It really highlights how geopolitical news translates directly into economic reality for everyone.
What a day, then. From Congress debating war powers to courts protecting student visas, homeland security alerts, and then markets swinging on ceasefire news. It really shows how interconnected everything is.
It really does. It's fascinating and maybe a little unsettling to see how one piece of news can just cascade through international relations, legal systems, your personal safety, and the global economy.
So maybe the thought to leave with is this. Watching these ripples, what insight from today really sticks with you, something you'll carry forward as you watch events unfold?